Alright, this seems like a pretty decent hand. Smothering Tithe with Kambal is awesome as well. Because whenever they draw a card and they don't play 2, we get a treasure. And then whenever we get a treasure, we also drain them for 1, which I really like. We could even play... Let's for Sentinel. Yeah, let's go for Sentinel, I think. Slow him down a bit. Or maybe we should have gone for Sulphur Spirit, maybe. But, oh well. Okay. Let's go for an attack first. Interesting. Okay. I don't really want to play the Smothering Child and get it countered. So if they counter the Selfless Spirit, then yeah, whatever. No. Okay. Resolving that is pretty big, to be honest. Because now the Legion's Landing can actually flip if we get an attack with 3 creatures. They're going to go for the 1 ring. Holy crap. That's a really early 1 ring there. Now, luckily, Legion's Landing is just an attack trigger. It's not a damage trigger, which means we don't have to hurt them. And we can't anyway. So yeah, flipping the Legion's Landing is kind of monumental. And I think what I might do is... So if we go for the Vein Ripper, and they have a board wipe, they would lose everything. But I've got Selfless Spirit, so I don't really care too much. That's a very early Vein Ripper. Well, not very early, but it seems pretty good. And also they can't target it without sacking a creature. So board wipe won't really do much here, because we've got the Selfless Spirit. They can't target removal this. So I guess Mass Bounce is the only way, or something like a Farewell effect. Exile each. Which there are a few. But yeah, this seems glorious now. And it's a 6/5. Vein Ripper. Crazily good. Okay. And they're just going to pass. Let's go for... I'm actually going to leave the Esper Sentinel back because I'm scared of flashes. Interesting. 8 damage. And to 11. I don't really care about what they do. I'm just going to pass. We can just make vampires each turn. And because we know they're a flash deck, because the commander is a flash guy, which means they're going to have loads of counters. Now, can we actually just win this without them using a single counter? We also have a flasher here. Rusco, that's funny. That's not going to help you, dude. And this has menace. Let's flash that in. So they can't block 3 of our creatures. And we have literal drain on a stick. Yeah, take that, Rusco. Hello and welcome to today's video. We'll be looking at Kambal Profiteerting Mayor. Now this is pretty awesome. And it doesn't really look like it is at first because it's just a bit wordy. So let's have a quick look. Whenever 1 or more tokens enter the battlefield under your opponent's control, for each of them, you create a copy of it. This only triggers once each turn, but the value is X. So if your opponent creates 1, you create 1. If they create 10, you create 10. So it's really going to put people off their plan, and they are using X spells that creates tokens. So that's already pretty good because you're not stealing, but you're mirroring what your opponent's getting. So you're going to be at parity value, which is pretty insane. And then, on top of that, whenever 1 or more tokens enter the battlefield on your control, each opponent loses 1 and you gain 1. So it's drain 1 on each token. Now, bear in mind, this includes non-creature tokens like treasures, anything like that. So it's definitely up there in the power level. I think it's just been slightly overshadowed by many of the other commanders in recent sets. But there's definitely a few ways we can abuse this. I mean, the first thing we can do is just look at the X spells ourselves. We've got Blot Out the Sky, White Sun's Twilight, and Horn of Valor all makes X creatures. And that alone, if X is a huge value, like let's say theoretically X was 25, that would just 1-hit KO your opponent, right? So you've got that, making 1/1s. You've also got Roaming Throne, which is kind of like the de facto default thing. It's a bit boring, really, but it just doubles triggers on all creatures of the chosen type. You've got Anointed Procession to double the amount of tokens that you would create, as well as Mondrak, and also Urge Attack, which I'm not a huge fan of, to be honest. I think this is a bit deceptively overcosted. It does make triple, I understand, but it dies so much. You know, it's such a terrifying card. People will absolutely kill the crap out of it. I went in a few avenues of how else we can abuse it. I was thinking of including the enchantment that made all your tokens into 4/4 angels, but I feel as though it was a win more card. You're already draining one anyway, and you're probably going to be winning in other ways. Like, for instance, you're not only draining when the creatures come in with this deck, which is also the same as Elaziel Core, but whenever another creature dies, you'll be draining one. So this has the ability Cruel Celebrant, Zulaport Cutthroat, Blood Artist, the Meat Hook Massacre, and Sanguine Brushstroke. And last but not least, we also have Vein Ripper, which all drain when creatures die. And I think that alone is enough. We don't even have to do much combat damage in this deck. And the synergy is already pretty crazy. Stuff like Yawgmoth can just sacrifice things whenever you want in order to basically put a -1 counter on something, draw a card, and drain one. Combine it with Woe Strider, Braids. You know, there's loads of ways to sacrifice things in the deck. Loads of ways to create tokens. I think Altec Matterweaver is one of my favourites. This is basically the opposite of Monastery Mentor, where this triggers whenever you cast a creature spell, you get a token or a copy of a token. And Monastery Mentor, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you get a token as well. There's so many awesome things in this deck. We've also got Delny, which triggers double triggers on abilities of creatures. You can draw power to less. There's so many awesome, cool things. And I think this has turned out to be a pretty powerful and fun deck, which is something that is kind of rare, especially considering that not many people seem to be that good. So it's good because it means that people will see him less, which means you'll have a bit of an edge against me because they won't know how to actually play against this. But yeah, I think you'll really enjoy it. He's a really cool card, and you're definitely going to have fun. So enjoy the gameplay. Let's go. Facing Mythweaver Pock. It should really be called Mythweaver Poss, because he really is a piece of shit. But going first should be nice as well. Their game attack is very apt. The Air of Grief. Love it. But yeah, we've got the kill spells. We should be pretty good, to be honest. Next turn, maybe we go for Preacher of the Schism. I don't give a schism. Just so we can start accruing some advantage ourselves. But yeah, going first against Pock, it feels a lot better, to be honest. It feels a lot better. Grim Hiling allows us to ramp even more. Wow, I'm not sure what's going on here. We are getting pretty much of a... This is a pretty crazy god hand. You guys have to give me a like and subscribe for this. Torturing a Pock player, come on. You'll love it here. This is why you subbed to me, right, already, or about to be subbed to me. They missed a 4th land for a landfall deck? It's a bit weird. Bit weird. Something my little boy says, my 3-year-old. Sees something he doesn't understand, he goes, oh, bit weird. Love it. Love it when he says that. Very cute. Almost as cute as how quick we're about to kill these guys. These Pockmen. Pokemon. And they're probably going to concede here. No, they're going to keep going. Okay. Give me that sweet, sweet nectar of victory. How could they possibly come back here? I don't think there's any way in hell, is there? I honestly do not think there is a way. It's literally impossible. Unless they've got... What could they have that would be good here? I honestly don't know. We've got so much ramp. Bing, bing, bing. Oh, Kambal is so crazy good with black market connections. Gets 2 life discount on each thing. Don't think I've ever seen so much card draw in my life. Goodness me. They're down to 3. Alright, let's see what they got. All we need to do is make 3 more tokens, and we got this. Pock. Nice. Here he is. Here's the guy. Oh, I don't normally like showing torture like this, but against a Pock, it feels good. It feels damn good. Okay, I definitely want to give this hand a go. Doesn't seem the best, but we have a way to ramp. And the SRAM's expertise should be nice as well. Tasha is a really hard commander to beat, really. The intensity, making all the spirits bigger over time, it's going to be annoying. But the thing is, if they make tokens, then Kambal also makes a token. So he might be able to sneak underneath that a little bit. Let's hope. I've not been able to beat too many tasers. Okay, so they're going to make all of our creatures enter tapped. That is kind of annoying, but... Oh, okay. Full Steel Heart, that's nice. Because we want to be able to play all of our things. SRAM's expertise plus anything else is actually pretty awesome here. But yeah, let's ramp because we did miss a land drop here. It would be nice to go for Kambal, but it would also be nice to play 2 spells next turn. And we can use the Surge of Salvation to protect. But yeah, they're going to find it... It's going to be interesting because we can block their X1 Flying Spirits with our X1 Flying Spirits as well. Obviously, we're not going to get the intensity. However, you know, should be pretty good. I've got 3 mana up. Interesting. I think we're going to go for Kambal and then leave up the Surge. Oh, they're going to return it to our hand. Okay, fair enough. Cheeky bastards. And my god, they're just gaining so much random life. This Authority console is probably one of the best 1-drops in the whole game. Like in Commander, I've seen this literally win games. And not win games as such, but not lose. There was a fundamental difference, but... Okay, Taste is going to come down now, making X1s. Interesting. Interesting. Now, the fact that they played her suggests they do not have a board wipe. That's my understanding here anyway, because it's going to come back in next turn anyway. So if they have a board wipe, it feels unreasonable. So we're going to go Blood Artist, keep up Surge of Salvation. We get a treasure from that, and we drain them for 1. So with that in mind, I do not want to trade the Lotho. We are trading here. Okay. Let's see what happens then. We get a trigger of 2. We are draining them left, right, and centre here. Okay. Now let's hope now they don't have board wipe. Although she comes back in. Here we go. Oh, this is beautiful. Beautiful. Like fire with fire, as they say. Who would have thought it? Although ours comes in tap 2 to the Authority, which is really irritating. So now they're going to target our Kambal, and we're going to give our stuff hexproof. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, so that worked out pretty well. Especially now we're going to go for SRAM and Liliana. And they don't mind giving us Kambal tokens again, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, we want to get rid of Liliana next turn, play her out, because otherwise they're going to go for Elspeth's Nightmare. They're going to target our hand and get rid of her. So let's see what they want to do. Are they going to be a sport or not? I sense a disturbance in the force. I think targeting Kambal was probably the right thing to do, although saying that the Blood Artist is going to prove problematic for them if we just keep making loads of bodies left, right, and centre. Right, let's go for the SRAM's expertise here. So if they kill the Kambal in response, that will be kind of sad, but... Treasure, life, tokens, it's all great. Oh my goodness. This is kind of crazy. And I think we will make them lose their only blocker. Just to protect Liliana a bit more, because I don't want her to die to just random stuff. And we will swing in with... Yeah, we'll leave back these two, because we want to be able to block their Tasha if needs be. Damn it. That Authority is keeping them in the game so hard. Get lost, and we even have the treasure for that as well. So we're in a fantastic situation, and if they board wipe, they will end up losing all of their stuff as well. So I can't see a scenario here in which we do not win. And yeah, we would have just used the Get Lost in response to the Nightmare to kill the Tasha there, I think. But my goodness, that's a really sick kind of meta answer for Tasha, who is kind of terrorizing the format right now. Oh, this is a pretty cool starting hand. Legion's Landing turn 1 is always nice to just get out a little bit of aggro. I think turn 2 we'll go for the Temple so we can set up the turn 3 Liliana as well, which is always a nice early play to make. Or we could even go for Kambal. Yeah, let's definitely set up the following turns. More land is actually perfect here, because we've got 2 6-drops in our hand. Now, Valky could go either way here. Against us, if they got Vein Ripper or the Oge attack, it would be annoying. Okay. I don't really want to discard my cards yet. So I think we'll just go for Selfless Spirit, because I also don't want them to just kill my Kambal out of nowhere. So having this guy is going to be nice, just to give him a bit of protection. But yeah, playing the Liliana there would have meant we had to discard our Haymakers, which I don't really want to do. If they kill the Selfless Spirit here... Yeah, okay. Then it suggests that they may have another kill spell for the Kambal. I guess if they're just going to spend every turn doing that, it's fine. We'll see. It's highly likely they do. I mean, it's a black-red deck. But yeah, if they kill Kambal next turn, I guess we'll go for Liliana the next turn. Or we can even redeploy him for 5 again. That might be worth doing. Murderous Rider. Okay. Just loads of kill spells, it looks like. Okay, let's see if we can get him out again. And then next turn, we even have Oge attack, which could be pretty epic. Replicating Ring. So they're going to try and ramp up to Big Tybalt. Each opponent discards a card. Ooh, that's not very nice. Okay, fine. We'll get rid of that then, after everything we said. Shred their hand or go for the Vein Ripper? Vein Ripper? Yeah, let's go for Vein Ripper. Just attack here. So in order to kill this thing, to sacrifice a creature, which they have. So it's probably going to be very easy for them to do that. And annoyingly, if they go for Tybalt, they can actually exile it, and then they can cast it themselves. We'll see. We don't have the most amazing board anymore. But 5, 6. If they ramp here, it means next turn they can go for Tybalt. But then if they do exile the Vein Ripper, then... we'll see. And a Tiny Bones. Okay. Lots of good stuff there side. Liliana.
Enough with the
So we actually don't have to discard anything here.
Come for answers.
Tempted to actually make them sack a creature. Oh, that draining is pretty epic, I've just realised as well. Whenever any creature dies. That means we can actually use a Focus in Tower. To make them drain a bit more. Down to 6. And also, if they do go for the Tybalt trying to sack the Vein Ripper, we can sacrifice it ourselves. They're just going to abrade. Huh. So they actually go down to 3. Wow. So I don't really want to use the tower there, because as I said, if they exile the Vein Ripper, we want to be able to get rid of it, just to avoid them casting themselves. Now, interestingly here, we can just kill them, right? If the Kambal dies to the Tiny Bones, then that means we can just kill them with the Vein Ripper. Interesting.
Oh, that's my cue to leave.
Oh, they just die from that. Oh no, they go to... yeah, they gain the life, but they lose... Oh my goodness, Vein Ripper is crazy. It really is. Oh baby, we're getting pretty lucky today with going first. I'm enjoying this. Makes a change. Makes a change. Some days, it just feels like you never get to go first. But today, you know, had some pretty good luck. Maybe there's a direct correlation with what commander we're using, but I find that highly unlikely and just anecdotal. Let's go for Lock Thwain turn 1. So then turn 2, we can go for Courtyard and then probably the Blood Artist. But yeah, we technically have a combo in our hand. Kambal plus 27 mana wins us the game here. That's why I said technically, but maybe should have gone for Bitter Blossom there, but shouldn't matter too much. But yeah, Blood at the Sky creates X 2/1s. So, you know, with Kambal out and 25 mana, that is a win. Obviously, that's not going to happen here. That is very unlikely to happen. Ooh, resolving a Bitter Blossom is pretty sweet. The question is, why did they have that coming untapped? Unless it was to counter our commander. If they go for Lagrella, it's pretty likely that we use the swords on it. Ooh, they're going to hide a spell underneath. Okay. So hopefully we can resolve the arena here, because we really would like to get an extra land. The fact we missed one there is very sad. And we have 2 X-Spells in our hand, which is technically 2 win cons. With enough mana. But we are... I mean, here's the thing. The lower the life goes, the easier it is to pull these off. But it's still going to be a big value for X to actually pull it off in the first place. Do they have a kill spell? Board wipe. Who knows? All I know is we're losing 2 life a turn here. So, let's just see. So thinking about interacting in some way, shape or form, because the timer has stopped. Preacher of the Schism. Okay. No land. I guess we'll go for the Schism again. Preacher of the Schism. Preacher of the Tism. That would be a very different card. I guess the good news here is if they do board wipe, we will drain them for 4. But I'd rather they didn't, obviously. If they go for targeted removal, then it's likely they don't have a board wipe. I feel like if you had a board wipe, you just use it here to get out of the way. Unless there's another reason. Mystic Study, okay. Mystic Study is going to be annoying with our SRAM's expertise, because we're going to have to pay 1 extra cast. But now I'm thinking maybe we just don't cast anything. They keep waiting on the Bitter Blossom trigger, which is interesting. What would they have? Unless there's a merfolk, I forgot what it's called, but it's 3 mana. It's called Tide Hollow or something. It comes in and it essentially counters an ability, and as long as the merfolk's on the field, that permanent doesn't have any abilities. But yeah, trying to resolve the Cruel Celebrant here is kind of nice, because it's a second Blood Artist, which means a board wipe will deal double damage, basically. So they might want to think about countering it, or something or other. Okay. They're being very cautious, which is interesting. I think what's happening here is, to be honest, they're gagging for me to cast my Kambal. But I think this is the difference between an okay player and an expert player. Just because you have your commander does not mean you have to cast it. And you can actually play around opponents' counter spells like this, because there's 2 or 3 counter spells that only counter a spell outside your hand, or a legendary, or a commander, right? And if you know they're playing blue, then you can definitely work around that by playing against their expectations. If they have a farewell and use it here, it'd be very sad. Time Warp. Time Warp here doesn't do much, because they don't have anything on board, so it doesn't really progress their board state. They played the Pasaju rather than destroying the Phyrexian Arena, which I think was a mistake, really. Wow, they're just happy, drifting along, doing their thing. Wow, flowering the white tree. Now, I think what I want to do is bluff them. Right, let's play Kambal. So now we kind of want to give them the Kambal because it means we can resolve our flag in the white tree next turn. Ah, see, so there's the wash away. But do you want to know the interesting thing? They didn't wait for us to pay for... Did they wait for us to pay? So we're going to decline it. So they get to draw a card. So this kind of worked out pretty well, because now we can go for flowering, which basically doubles the power of all our creatures on the field. So knowing they had the wash away was important, but now they're in trouble. Do we need to attack with that? So we've got 4. Let's just do that. We want to keep the Blood Artist alive, really. And so here's the other interesting thing. If they board wipe, they are most definitely dead. If they fare well, they're okay. Lifelink as well. Yeah, so sacrificing your commander sometimes is good if it means you can resolve a better spell. They're going to return something to our hands, but it's really not going to matter here. We have overwhelming lethal. Grella's going to flicker one of ours, one of theirs. Okay. Blood Artist. Well, I don't know if they realise this, but Cruel Celebrant is also a Blood Artist, so sucks to be you, I'm afraid. So that's what I mean about playing around counters. We just didn't give them what they wanted the whole game until we did, and then they thought they were safe, and then they really weren't. I don't know why I sad face that. I was actually happy face. Did you know that you can help my channel by watching another one of my videos? Go ahead, you know you want to.